Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Today we're going to be working on some Z-fold cards. I'm going to show you how to make templates for them so that you don't need to figure out the measurements every time, and just how to use those templates. As I have these already done, I'm going to be making the base of my card just like I would to make these templates. The back one is more so for the measurements. And then these darker pink ones I have here are for all of the mats. So what you're going to want to do is start off with an 8.5 by 11 sheet and cut it to 10.5 inches long and leave it at the 8.5 long wide. And then we're going to take a ruler and so if you don't have the template, you would take a ruler. Measure out 3 inches from this end, and it will go right up to the 1/2 inch at this end. And then you're going to make a diagonal cut from the point that you made to the tip, point that you made to the tip of the paper. Which I have to do with a big trimmer. So I'm going to take this to my bigger trimmer and cut the angle. Okay, so I made the cut, and this leftover piece you can save to make sentiment strips or just stamp your images on it. Now I'm going to take my scoreboard and score these lines. So we'll score at 3.5 inches. And then again at 3.5 inches from the other side. Okay, now I'm just going to fold this corner in and square it underneath this panel. So I can just line up exact measurement, line up and off. So I'm just going to move it over a little bit and then score. Okay, and then you have your card. To make the mats for this card, so the finished card is 3.5 by 8.5 for the size. To make the mats, we're going to do them 1/4 inch smaller on the width and the height. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a 2 3/4 inch panel by So what I'm going to do is, because this is 3.5 inch wide, I'm going to cut it at 3 1/4, and then I'm just going to fit as many as I can across a standard sheet, so that I might be able to fit this and this in there. No, I think I can do the two. The middle one and the front one will definitely fit. Okay, so you'll have to cut your paper lengthwise, but you'll be able to fit all of your panels on one 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper with them left over. Generally I would do that with any colored cardstocks that I don't use very often, so I don't use a lot of pinks, which is why I make my templates with those. I'll do them in purples. Again, I don't use those very often, so if you're buying those variety packs and you have colors that you just don't think you're going to use for anything, just use them to make these templates. And then you have them and you don't have to do the measurements every time. These ones get a little bit more complicated, but anyway, so I'm going to cut the panels 3 1/4 inch wide. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this card is I'm making my own pattern paper background. I'm going to cut it at 3 1/4. Okay, what I did on these templates the first time was I drew the size mats that I wanted. So usually I'll do an 1/8 inch white border around it, and then I want to do a mat that's a bit smaller. So with these angles, you're gonna need these measurements here. Because you can't just like cut it this and like cut an 1/8 of an inch off, because it is a little bit different the way that works because of the angles. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna draw your mat border. And then I'm going to take these measurements from here to here and here to here. All the panels are going to be 3 1/4 inch width. So I have a piece of the panel here that I tried cutting earlier. So that's right. And then we want some 2 3/4. And then 4 1/2. Okay, cut that angle. So you're going to do that with each of these panels. Draw out that border so you can figure out the dimensions, and then cut your panels accordingly. Okay, and then that would be your template. You would have the mat for the back area, mat for the middle area, which you can use this way for the outside, this way for the inside, and then you'll have your front mat. And then again, you can cut these out in any color and keep them as templates, and then next time when you go to cut, you know that this is 3 1/4 inch wide, and then you can lay this on the paper and then cut it out. Either make indication lines so for your angle, or you can put it through your machine like this and just put this edging up against your knife, which is what I usually use. But then I keep these handy with a safety pin. And then I put it in like a pencil case together with my other templates. And so yeah, so I'll make a card with this in a bit. I'm just going to show you the other option that I have. The other option is going to be a 3 1/2 inch card. So we're going to keep it at the 10 1/2 inch length, and then we're going to cut it down to 5 1/2 inch in height, which I will do with my bigger camera. And then we're going to do the same. We're going to square it 3 1/2 inches from each side, or if you have a bigger scoreboard, you can do 3 1/2 and 7. I just have this mini version, which works for me. And then for this one, because it's such a small card, I wanted to keep the full 3 1/2 by 5 1/2 background. So we're going to start our angle from here and go down. So for this one, I have it at 2 1/2 by 3 1/2. So I'm going to measure up the left side to my 2 1/2 inch mark. And then I'm going to cut it to the tip over here instead of all the way to here. Which I might be able to do this more. Okay, and then we're going to fold back in this way. Didn't quite line up again. I think I must have cut my paper a little off. And we're just gonna pull it over. I just had to rework that fold a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna do the matte layers the same way. You're just gonna put that 1/8 inch border around, or whatever size you use. 1/8 is pretty good for me. Again, or you could just do 2 different templates. You could do one matte, one non-matted version. So if you're gonna do edge to edge, you would just use these measurements, and then if you're gonna use the matte, you're gonna want the 1/8 inch all the way around. So we'll do the same technique as we did the first time. Do your markings, take those measurements just to make these. And then you'll have little matte templates that you can use. And then I just labeled mine front, middle, and back. You can put dimensions on here if you want, but again, like I would just take this up to my trimmer, measure these out. And you could use that paper clip to hold them together a bit better. Your trimmer allows it, and then just line it up edge to edge. So, and then I have a mat for the front, ready to go. So I'm just going to show you one of the cards completed on camera. I'm going to be working on the 8.5 by 3.5 inch. And I'm going to be using my favorite stamp set. The Very Special Birthday from MFT, and then I'm using this Mix and Match Circles by Simon Says Stamps for some of these. I'm going to make my own pattern paper for the background. So I'll just probably just speed through while I do that, do my coloring and whatnot, and then when I'm done, I'll come back. Okay, so I stamped and colored all of my images. I colored all the bears the same. I did the same pink, yellow, orange color combination for all of these. I'm just going to re-stamp them now to bring back those nice rich black lines. And then I'll cut them out with the coordinated dies. It's perfect. I see a little area smudged there, so I'm just gonna take a white gel pen over this area. And I also want to go over here. Most of this will get cut off anyway. The ink takes a little bit longer to dry on this hammer mill cardstock. It's a bit more glossy. And then I'll add highlights and whatnot to the images afterwards as well. Okay, I'm gonna go cut these up and come back. Okay, so I cut out all my images, and then I'm just gonna get started on my colored background. I'm going to be using some blonde colors today. So I have this pink is probably raspberry, orange I have carrot, and yellow I have sunflower. I'm just going to stamp these panels. I'm going to cut an extra one of these in a pattern paper, I think, like a different pattern paper, and then put it on the outside, and then this one will go on the inside as a continuation of this side. So I'm actually going to put these together when I stamp them, so that's kind of like a continuing pattern. I'm okay with this, but if you don't like the white on white, you could always cut, excuse me, you could always cut a mat that is 1/8 and then another 1/8 in, so you have multiple layers. Or if you're okay with 16th inch, I would just glue this to a sheet of colored cardstock, and then maybe I would do one front layer yellow, middle layer orange, back layer pink or something. But then you could like leave a little tiny border and then still have your 16th of an inch border. It wouldn't be as big, but it might actually look nice like that. I'm just gonna leave it this way for today. Okay. So this one will go here, and then these two will go in the middle. And then maybe I'll put a solid color in the middle, The one on the outside only really gets shown here. You don't have to put things there. I have this before in the past, but today I'm just probably just going to do it in one of the colors. Okay, that's our seafood card for today. I'll show a picture of the second one once I'm done. And thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys all have a great day. Like, comment, subscribe, and leave any comments you have. Any suggestions you have for future videos would be great. So I'll see you later. Bye!